The Knights Who Say Nah. Tomoe GOZEN, Episode 6, Season Finale. On the Tokyo streets, at night, Sakura storms through a sea of bodies on the sidewalk, headphones blare as she nearly chews a hole through her bottom lip in frustration. Her phone buzzes, she looks down at the caller ID that reads Mom, and she clicks Ignore. Sakura moves past a restaurant and an alleyway and grinds to a halt. She backpedals a few steps and looks into the alleyway her mother claims to have found Tomoe GOZEN in. Her face is the nexus of anger, skepticism, resentment, and for some inexplicable reason, intrigue. She makes the decision to investigate, pads carefully into the shadows, and clicks her flashlight on. There's movement. Startled, she flashes her light and reveals a black cat scurrying between the wall and a garbage bin. It's enough of a scare to bring her crashing back to Earth. Sakura removes the headphones.
Okay.
She follows the cat with her light until it stops and starts pawing at something underneath another bin.
Are you playing, little kitty?
Sakura steps closer and tilts her head. It takes just a moment for the tableau to process when she arrives at the realization that the cat is playing with an arrow. Curiosity and disbelief collide as she reaches her hand out and gets scratched by the hissing cat.
Shit.
She checks the back of her hand. A razor line of blood trickles. Sakura flashes her light in the cat's eyes, and it skulks away to watch from another vantage point. Sakura reaches out again, grasps the arrow into her hand, and pulls it back to her body. She shines her light from the feathers to the tip. Even to her untrained eye, it looks ancient.
How?
A gust of wind blows her hair unnaturally forward, and just then, she watches a tiny purple fractal pop into existence right at the tip of the arrow, and then another, and then another. It's a magic she's never seen. The fractals multiply exponentially and then coagulate in a swirling energy. Sakura's disbelieving eyes might as well be lidless as she watches the phenomenon occur and drops the arrow to the ground. Purple energy fractals continue to pop into existence as Sakura sprints out into the streets. At the same time, in an unmarked interrogation room at Ares International, Junko, Tomoe, Chie, and Moe are sat in black plastic chairs up against a wall. 4 guards stand sentry over them as Tanaka talks excitedly into the phone.
Yes. We have all 4 of them apprehended. We'll hold them until you get here. Thank you.
He clicks the phone off and looks down at them.
You did this to yourselves. Whatever you're here to take you.
It's you that took something.
Excuse me? You didn't earn it. You don't get to have the honor. The honor to what? The honor to own my story, or to hold it in your hands.
Tanaka cocks his head, confused.
I don't know your story, and I don't hold it. But it's here. Here where? In my sword. That sword in there belongs to Saburo-san. Everything in this building is under his protection.
Tomoe inhales with the mention of Saburo.
What is that name? Saburo. And he's on his way.
Give her the sword back, asshole. Thief.
Back out on the Tokyo streets, rain begins to fall. Small droplets at first that give way to sheets of water. The wet street reflects the lights of the city. A pair of black brogues breaks the mirror of the water with a splash. The feet belong to a towering man in a white jacket. His broad shoulders almost stick out from the umbrella that's held over his head by one of 3 security guards as they usher him into a Rolls-Royce. The door slams, and the car takes off into the rain, revealing a license plate that reads, Ares. And on the 40th floor of the Ares building, Niko pockets her phone and bounces around the security camera control room trying to figure out her next move. She watches nervously as the camera shows Junko, Tomoe, Chie, and Moe being interrogated.
This is bad. Really bad.
Niko hears the slam of the bathroom door down the hallway, pokes her head out, and spots the security technician coming back from the bathroom.
What do I do? What do I do?
She looks back at the security terminal, and in an instant, it all makes sense. Niko reaches behind the monitors, grasps every single wire she can, and starts ripping them out of sockets like a child playing with her spaghetti. Screens go black, cameras power down, the technician rounds the corner into his office and finds the catastrophe. Niko is humming to herself as she pretends to wipe down the back of the computer monitors.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
I'm cleaning like you asked.
No, stop! You can't! You pulled out the wiring!
He rushes forward and pushes her aside.
Yes, I need to clean. And the wire were in the way.
Get out! Get out!
Niko collects her dusting rag and rushes out of the room. As she does, she spots a fire alarm and a smile crawls across her face. In the lobby at the same time, the security cameras are powered down, their empty eyes pointed at Sakura as she waltzes in with soaking wet hair and pure determination. She doesn't have a fake uniform or a security badge as she marches forward and clocks the familiar terrain. Sakura wavers in the fear and consequence of what she's considering when the fire alarm screams, security guards scramble, and Sakura interprets the message as "fucking do it!" Sakura blitzes forward 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steps and leaps the security turnstile.
Stop!
She doesn't look back. Her wet feet squeak against the gleaming floor as she bolts into the elevator and presses the 44 button at least 10 times.
Close, 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 close!
She hears the guards coming to take her. The doors finally begin to close the gap. Sakura closes her eyes. She knows this could be it. The guards are only 3 feet away. They jut their arms out to stop the doors, but they close. Inside the elevator, Sakura exhales for the first time since she entered the building. The elevator lurches and sends her rapidly upward to the 44th floor. She steps off the elevator and a large metal door is thrown open. Sakura jumps back, ready to run until she realizes it's Niko. She's panting and also trying to process the person standing across from her.
Sakura! Oh, what? Why are you here? What are you doing here? I saw it! The purple stuff. It wasn't there. Then it was there because I picked up an arrow and I knew. I'm sorry. I should have believed you.
Niko interrupts her daughter with the most suffocating, deep hug she can manage.
I love you. I love you too, Mom.
They're both smiling until a realization washes over Niko.
They have her, Tomoe. They have them. In one of these rooms. Security has them? Yes, they are trapped.
Sakura stops to think about it for a split second when she hears another elevator arrive.
That's them! Ooh, run!
They turn to see Mustache emerge from the elevator with a cadre of security guards. Niko and Sakura only have one choice. They sprint down the hallway toward the massive wooden door. Inside the security room at the same time, Junko, Tomoe, Chie, and Moe stop haranguing Tanaka when they hear commotion in the hallway. Tanaka whips the door open, and just as he does, Sakura and Niko sprint past.
Stop them!
Tanaka shoots his arm out and grabs nothing but air. He turns around quickly and points to Blondie.
You stay. You come!
They take off into the hallway to give chase. Blondie remains in the room and slowly turns his neck to face the Ashigaru. His stony glare gives way to dread as Chie stands to her feet. Then Junko, Moe, and finally, Tomoe. Blondie puts his hands up in preemptive surrender, walks to a chair in the corner, removes his jacket, and hands it to Moe before taking a seat.
I need you to tie me up before leaving, please.
In the hallway, Sakura and Niko chance a look over their shoulders. The guards are closing the gap. Sakura rushes harder, 6 steps to the door, simultaneously cranks the handle and shoulders it open.
Stop her!
Niko dives inside. Sakura slams the door shut and clicks the lock into place. The guards slam their fists into the door. It sounds like it's going to burst open.
What do we do?
Niko thinks fast.
Push the desk!
They scramble behind the massive executive desk and heave with effort as it crawls inch by strenuous inch until it's positioned against the mahogany door. Security breaks the lock, but the door hits the heavy desk. Tanaka's face peers through the crack.
Niko! Sakura! Stop this! You'll be arrested!
Sakura wheels around to look at his one eye.
It doesn't matter. I'm Ashigaru.
Boom! The door gives another inch.
Find the door!
Break it down!
The rising booms from security slamming at the desk are a ticking clock as Sakura and Niko scour the wall, looking for a sign. Niko scrapes at it with her fingernails when the office door caves in over the desk and the security team piles inside.
I found it!
Security is about to blitz when something flashes over their heads, and Tomoe Gozen lands in the center of the office, carrying a broom as a weapon once again. She snaps it in half and throws the sharp, broken piece to Sakura for leverage. The women nod to each other.
Stop them now!
Just when they're about to charge, Chie, Moe, and Junko scream like banshees and come barreling through security like they're bowling pins and slam into the room with their cleaning cart. It's an all-out melee as bodies scramble in every direction, and Tomoe Gozen uses her small staff to dole out punishment. Sakura takes the opportunity and wedges the wood into the crack, shoves with every ounce of strength she has, and the door cracks open. Just then, Mustache snatches her shoulder and is about to rip her backward when Moe leaps into the picture and begins spraying window cleaner into his face.
Shut!
He stumbles backward, clawing at his eyes in pain. Sakura and Niko rip at the door, and it opens just enough for her to squeeze inside. Sakura spots the samurai sword, lit up like a piece of artwork behind glass. It all happens in one fluid motion as she takes a confident step forward, picks up a chair, and smashes through the glass. Sakura lifts the beautiful blade by the hilt. She feels the inherent power as she eyes the waving quench line of the sharp steel.
Tomoe Gozen!
She screams the name. Then,
Ashigaru on me!
Tomoe flies into the room first, bursting through the door. She's followed by Niko, Chie, Junko, and Moe, who turn with their cleaning weapons to face their assailants. Tanaka and the bruised security team catch their breath as they enter and watch Sakura step toward Tomoe.
This is yours.
Tomoe Gozen reaches her hand out and wraps her fingers around the hilt. And then, a wave of unseen energy blasts them all backward. Purple fractals fly in from the ether and swirl into the point of contact between Tomoe Gozen and her ancient artifact. The wave of energy flows into her consciousness as she cycles through a lifetime that culminates in a massive inhale of realization. Her pupils dilate from the information, and when she turns to look at everyone in the room, they see that she remembers exactly who she is.
I am strong enough.
I am strong enough.
I am strong enough. I am strong enough.
I am strong enough.
I am strong enough.
Their quiet proclamations crescendo with Tomoe Gozen swinging the sword in lightning-quick flashes as she assumes a final fighting stance. A beat, and then Tanaka steps out of the way, and with a healthy dose of fear in his eyes, encourages his security detail to do the same. They do. A path is created for Tomoe and her Ashigaru to walk past. Somewhere, in another security room, the man in a white suit sits in a chair that closely resembles a throne. He watches crisp, closed-circuit security camera images play out in real time. One of his armed security guards motions forward.
Would you like me to stop them, Saburo-san?
Saburo-san waves him off and watches in rapt attention as Tomoe, Niko, Chie, Junko, Moe, and Sakura walk out the front door of his building. There's clearly another plan at work. Back at Niko's apartment that night, Tomoe Gozen slips her armor over her shoulders, secures her sword, and turns to find Niko, Sakura, Chie, Junko, and Moe, all waiting reverently.
Where will you go?
You can stay here with us. I would.
She eyes her Ashigaru with wet eyes.
I would. But there's something out there calling me. I can hear it. And somehow, I know it's going to bring me back to my people.
We are your people too.
Tomoe smiles, steps forward, and bows. But before she can rise fully, Niko runs and hugs her. Then Sakura, then the rest of them. They hold each other, whispering near-silent goodbyes, until gradually peeling off one by one.
We are here if you need us.
Tomoe smiles through eyes welling with tears, but before one can drop, she turns and walks out the front door and out onto the streets of Tokyo. Tomoe stands tall amidst a sea of strangers. Through the millions of LED lights, in the distance, she watches as a strange purple light glows. Her eyes sharpen, and she begins to move in that direction as we slam to black.